Everyone, let's take a breath. Release the sound of ah. You're formerly now the Wizard of Oz. Now take a breath. Release the sound of relief. So what you're saying to yourself, your nervous system is like, I've arrived. I'm here. This is where I wanted to be today. This is the moment I've been waiting for I've arrived at a place of dynamic peace and well-being and wholeness. Just allow your body to just feel into that. So that all sense of anxiousness and anxiety and worry and the projection of worst-case scenarios into the future just cease. So that you can be right here, right now, where your breath is. Right here, right now, where your heartbeat is. Right here, right now, where your spiritual family is, cradling you in an awareness that you're significant, you matter, you're important, you have a right and a reason to be here, you're on purpose, with a purpose, that the Spirit of the living God has never made a meaningless act. So you, being the image and likeness of the divine presence as a unique expression of infinite potential, you have meaning into the absolute presence. You're important. Look around the room and see who's swimming in this ocean of devotion with you today. These sweet beings. Somebody is having some hallelujah moments about it. Just look around and just see the beauty in every being. See the beauty in the being and release a silent prayer on behalf of these sweet beings in the room, getting sweeter by the moment. Now come a little closer and look at one of the beings sitting right next to you. Look at that being and say, oh my God, out of over 7 billion people, we're together. This has meaning. Somewhere along the line, we chose to be here for a holy purpose. Oh my God, I see such beauty in you. I see such love in you. I see such power in you. You are a noble being with so much potential to change the world for the better. Let's do this together in the here and now. And so it is. Amen. High five, hug, handshake. Just feel the dynamic of your sacred agreement that you have with each other, to see the truth about each other and to live in a living field, a dynamic coherence with the fundamental order of the universe and the dynamic love of the Mother, Father, God principle that governs everything. You've arrived here with this awareness. You chose to be here on this planet at this time in human history to release your gifts, talents, and capacities, and to be a touchstone of the qualities that we've just mentioned. The peace, the dynamic love, the harmony, and the wholeness, the elegance, and the beauty, the abundance. These are all sacred qualities, and I'm just naming a few of them. These are all sacred qualities that are emanations from the mind, the life, the substance, the life of God itself. And you are the very reflection, the image and the likeness and the substance, an emanation of these sacred qualities. Thus, when we consider the theme of the month, which is the eternal, the everlasting, and you, fly free, we're speaking about the eternal presence, these sacred qualities that have never been touched nor tarnished by time. They are what they are. Love is what it is. Peace is what it is. Joy is what it is. It is what it is. I think you should just say that. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. It ain't what it ain't. So that which is eternal has never been touched or tarnished by time, and your life is eternal. Somewhere along the line, you may have gotten a few things mixed up and thought that the genesis of your life happened with the conception with your mom and dad. That was not the genesis of your life. The genesis of your life is before time began, spiritual nomina, spiritual idea held in the mind of the infinite. Now, if you capture that on a soul level, spiritual level, with prayer and meditation, you have the capacity to transcend hereditary patterns, collective beliefs of lack and limitation that may have been passed on an ancestral line. When you begin to be aware through spiritual practice of prayer, meditation, sacred and lowly listening, study, fellowship. You have the capacity to come into an awareness of your eternal nature. And then you have the mandate to create something everlasting. That which is eternal is absolute, transcends time. That which is everlasting is what you create as you touch the eternal. So that as great artists will capture a sound of the eternal. Great artists will capture the visual to the best of their ability and capture it in a frame or a photograph or a moment of inspiration or education or architecture. They have touched the realm of the eternal with their own soul, and they gave birth to something that is everlasting. Every prayer that's uttered from the consciousness of unity and oneness, even when the mouth is closed, that prayer continues on an everlasting journey, revealing the presence of God in order and harmony and unity and well-being. You have a mandate or a woman date or a destiny to touch the eternal and to be about that which is everlasting. Now, sometimes we get distracted and lower agendas begin to come in, and anxiety and worry and worst case scenarios and societal agendas come into our life, and we forget that we're here to touch the eternal and to release the everlasting. That's your relationship. Now, as that occurs, you begin to fly free. What do you fly free from? You fly free from the collective beliefs, race consciousness, that moves through human awareness, that speaks of lack and limitation, fear, doubt, worry, scarcity, hate, the separation, all of that has become somewhat normalized within the human condition, which is why you don't have to even look at the news that much unless you want to get specifics, because generally it's the same thing. That there's a general malaise about what next great virus is coming that you're going to have to worry about. The next thing that's going to happen, who got killed lately? You see, it's a general expression, and they just give you the specifics. Today is this country, today is these people, whatever the case may be. You have the opportunity to fly free into the realm of the absolute power and presence and love of God, and from that consciousness be an instrumentality through which the eternal gives birth to the everlasting in your life, not turning your back on what's happening in the human experience, but not participating in it. Not turning your back on it, but not giving vent to those particular ways of seeing the world, so that you're living in the awareness of the presence that is for you and never against you. You're living in the presence in a feeling tone that all of your needs are met, that everything is working together for your good, that wherever you are in life, regardless of your particular chronological age, you're just getting started because you're an infinite being and you're barely scratching the surface of your potential, regardless of how much you've activated and cultivated. You're just getting started. You're able to fly free above the lower frequencies of doubt and worry and become impervious to it, so that you're able to be a fiat of the Spirit, a juggernaut of good, moving through your particular incarnation, unveiling blessings and gifts and talents and cultivating the good that is within you and allowing no condition to hinder it. Because conditions and circumstances and situations and people, places and things pale in significance to the light of love and beauty and harmony and abundance that is seeking by means of you to express itself more fully and completely. We're talking about you throwing away your victim card, standing as a triumphant victor, standing upon circumstances and conditions as a stepping stone, or using the tombstones of mistakes as stepping stones to a greater expression of your ultimate reality, eternal, everlasting, you flying free. And then we come to a greater understanding of these sacred truths through the topic of the day, which is your unfolding perfection principles. For your unfolding perfection, and you are right for your own assignment. You're perfect for your own assignment. Now, there is a perfection within us that's unfolding. We saw it very clearly in Madison this morning as we had an opportunity to do a communal christening and a communal blessing. There is a perfect spiritual idea loaded and coded already within us. We didn't put it there. It's the image and likeness of God that's already there. It's perfect in every way. It's a perfect idea. Just as you follow through time-lapse photography an eagle soaring in the sky, and you follow all the way back to the point where that eagle was in an egg, and within that egg is a perfect idea of that eagle. Perfect in every way, and then it has to unfold. Conditions have to be proper for its unfoldment so that one day it soars beyond the mountains and over the oceans. You take an oak tree and you go back, and you go all the way back, and there's a perfect idea of the oak tree in the acorn. It's already there. It's perfect in every way, and then it unfolds as the conditions are right for that acorn to become the oak tree. There is this germ of the Christ within you. There's a perfect idea within you. And you're at the stage of your evolution. We are at the stage of our evolution where we have to participate in our own unfolding. It's not just going to happen because an external condition changes. It happens because we give permission, and we practice, and we intend, and we pray, and we meditate, and we study, and we fellowship, and we participate in our own unfolding so that perfection that is already within us, that light, that hope of glory, that Christ's presence, the hope of glory, that Buddha mind is already there. It gets to unfold in a magnificent way. And so we have to understand that when the conscious mind and the subconscious mind become one, when they touch and agree, the superconscious mind takes over. In other words, as you consciously are believing the words that I'm saying, you already believe this. You're at Agape, so you already believe that there's oneness. You believe that there's unity, that you believe that you're one with God. You believe that the presence of God is for you, not against you. You believe already that the universe is friendly and is not working against itself, or it would have destroyed itself a long time ago. You believe that we're in a field of abundance. At some level, there's abundance. Energy is never created or destroyed. We're in a field of abundance and unity and plenitude, and that we all have access to this. Just that electricity never runs out, even though a microphone may break. Electricity is just still kicking back, saying, "I'm still here." You know, in that same way, the presence of God, the presence of love and beauty and all of its qualities is always here. You may believe that. You may believe that you're significant. You may believe that you have nobility. You may believe that you're the image and likeness of God, but you have to get it on a subconscious level as well. In other words, all the experiences that you've had in your life that would deny or delay or detour you from knowing that, at some point through your spiritual practice, you unite the conscious and the subconscious, so the superconscious takes over. You have to believe that perfection is there in spite of mistakes, in spite of what they said about you, in spite of how you feel you're not quite right yet. You have to believe and feel and unite the conscious and the subconscious so that the superconscious begins to take over. It does not tarry with yesterday. It doesn't care about the past, doesn't know anything about it. All it knows is its own fulfillment. And this unfolding perfection now shows its face as regeneration, renewal, resurrection in your own life as your own life. Principles for unfolding perfection begin with the awareness that your potential and your purpose is always bigger than your problems. That's a principle. That your potential, which is infinite, and your purpose, which is to reveal the face of God, the face of divinity, the face of these sacred qualities that I have just mentioned, is always bigger than any problem. And so that when you begin to practice and you find yourself with a big problem, it means that you've turned the telescope the wrong way. And you're placing your potential in the presence of God way out there. And through your lowly listening and sacred practice, you begin to turn the telescope the right way and everything becomes closer. And you realize that your potential and your purpose is way bigger than any problem. Now, as you begin to feel into that, just say that, my potential is bigger than any problem. My purpose is bigger than any problem. God's purpose for my life is bigger than any problem. Now, as you begin to stand in that awareness, and again, the conscious and the subconscious have to meet, therefore you have to do spiritual practice. You can't just read and memorize. That's a beginning stage, repetition, memorization. That's your beginning stage. But you got to get down in your spiritual practice on a regular basis. And so that there is a giving way of that which no longer serves you on a mental level, an emotional level. And you begin to see something. It dawns on your consciousness. And it's, oh my God, what I thought I believed is absolutely true about me. It's not just true about the presence of God. It's true about the presence of God in my own life. You begin to work with these principles, and your life will change for the better. It'll change for the better. Another principle is that the presence of God, the universal presence, can express through you even if you are imperfectly expressing at this particular moment. In other words, God uses imperfect people or things would never get done. The universe had to wait till everybody's perfection was totally at its apex, at its zenith. Nothing would ever happen. So that means your assignment, you're perfect for your assignment right where you are right now and the way you are right now. So you have to stand in the sense of divine worth. That you can be in connection with the presence of God regardless if all your ducks are not in a row. They never stay in a row anyway. There's always one going out, and then the mother goes and gets that one, then the other one runs away, and then... So even in the middle of our chaos, we become aware that there's an underlying order that's trying to birth itself. That's the chaos theory in layman's terms. That wherever there is chaos, underneath there's something else trying to happen. And so even in our seeming imperfections, we're right for our assignment. And we have to develop enough worth to embrace who we are, even in our imperfections, and not try to go for some kind of perfectionism. Saying, well, one day when I get all of this together, then I'll live my life. Then I'll be happy. Then. No, there is no then. There's no then on the calendar. There's no someday on the calendar. Now is the appointed moment. Now is the appointed moment. Cultivating a sense of self-worth that you can connect even in places where you feel you're not quite adequate. It's okay. Do you realize right now it's okay to feel that all of your needs are met even if they're not? Do you realize that it's okay for you to feel healthy even if the body temple isn't giving you evidence of that? Do you realize it's okay to feel prosperous even when there's no evidence of that? You can begin to feel that right now. No, there's no law against you feeling that just because there's no physical evidence. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. You see? The absence of physical evidence is not the evidence of absence. The presence is never an absence. So in this instance, you can begin to feel that you're worthy. You begin to feel that everything is working together for your good. You can begin to feel no law. As a matter of fact, if you don't feel it, you're misusing the law. Pure principle. You're misusing the law and you're setting up thought forms that will ultimately become a filter as how you see life. And then that filter will become a perception, and that perception will become an experience, and all the while reality is still reality. In other words, outside these doors here, there's a sun shining light on anybody. It doesn't care whether the person is cool or not. The sun is shining on everybody. We can't see the sun right now because the door is closed. But that has not touched the sun at all. Our inability to see the sun has not touched the sun. The sun is still doing its thing. He's not saying, well, they're not looking at me, I'm not shining. No. So your filters about life is not hindering life. Your filters of life is not stopping reality from being reality. Your filters of life is not inhibiting God from being God. It's only inhibiting your perception and your experience of it. That's what it's doing. It's not, God is still God. The sun is still shining. Water is still wet. Life is good. But are we seeing it? And so, in our seeming imperfections, we learn to embrace ourselves and say, give me my assignment today. Whatever that assignment is. It'll be more intense and increased. You'll get more as you can handle more. But where you are right now, you just accept, I'm worthy to feel that my needs are met. I'm worthy to feel I can make a difference. I'm worthy to feel that everything is working together for my good. What's my assignment? Because God works through imperfect people or nothing would ever get done. You see? And you develop a sense of worth around that. And then you begin to understand the principle about this presence that we call God. It's not anthropomorphic, it's a presence of such life and love and beauty, intelligence, order, harmony, elegance. Within this vast, infinite mind, there are no problems. There's only ideas. There's only perfect spiritual ideas like yourself. There's only spiritual qualities. So there's no problems in the mind of God. Gravity doesn't have a problem. The law of mathematics don't have a problem. God doesn't have a problem. And so with the awareness that God doesn't have a problem, you're not going to God to get a problem solved. You're expanding your awareness of God so your problems dissolve. You see? They dissolve in an expanded awareness. So you have a choice. You can ruminate on your problems, or you can resonate with God. Ruminate or resonate. If you ruminate on your problems over and over and over again, have you discovered nothing gets solved? Matter of fact, things could get worse. You ruminate on the problem, you start talking about it, and then those thought forms from that particular sense of separation starts to be created, and those thought forms proliferate. They become an attitude, they become a mood, they become coagulated in the body temple. It becomes that filter we were just talking about, and pretty soon you see all of life through that particular filter of that particular problem that you're ruminating on, and it's not solving anything. But when you resonate, you begin to resonate with the presence. You take a quality, perhaps the quality that you feel is absent right now. You take a quality, you begin to contemplate that quality. I'm contemplating the quality of peace right now. I'm thinking about all the times I experienced peace of mind, peace of well-being, peace of soul. You start to sneak up on that quality. You start to resonate with that quality. And you start to feel into that quality. And after a while, that quality becomes real to you. And even if you don't know what to do, the quality starts to pervade in your life. Even if you don't know what to say, the quality starts to emanate from you. And it becomes an open way for you to resonate with the entire presence of God, the unity, the oneness of the presence with all of these sacred qualities. It is your choice, ruminate or resonate. Now, here's the deal. When you have a habit of ruminating, that part of you is upset when you stop doing it. It's got you. It knows you. It wants you to ruminate with it. Oh, come on, complain a little bit more. Don't be a winner, be a whiner. Come on. And what you have to do, you have to argue with that. You got to win. You have the winning argument already. The winning argument is I am. That's the winning argument. The winning argument is I am what thou art what I am. The winning argument is before the beginning of time, I am. Before Abraham was, I am. The winning argument is that my life is divine. You begin to argue with that part of yourself that wants to keep you in the rumination. You begin to argue with yourself. Life is for me. Nothing is against me. Everything is working together for my good. I can't see it right now, but I'm going to feel into it. I don't know what to do right now, but I'm going to feel into it. You start to argue. You win that argument. You got to win the argument. You've got to win the argument. Remember, you are participating in your own unfoldment of that which is perfect within you, unfolding based on your participation, and you're having enough worth, even in your seeming imperfection, to say, I've got an assignment here. Something's got to be done. Even in my seeming imperfection, there's a gift that has to be given. There's something that has to express. I've got to express it even in my seeming imperfection. And I'm not going to God with the big problem. I'm going to a big God. I'm going with the big God. You see. Now, principally, I'm in integrity with the laws of the universe. I'm aware that my potential and my purpose is greater than any problem. I become aware of that. I'm aware that in my seeming imperfection, I've got an assignment, and I still have to cultivate enough worth that I can, on a daily basis, connect with the presence. I have to be aware that I have a choice every day, ruminate or resonate. I can catch myself ruminating and start to shift, start to resonate with the presence. Win the argument until all of life has found an opening to express through. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here it is. Hear this. Eternal you. Everlasting, what you create. Fly free above the fray of collective belief of lack and separation. Utilize the principles of unfolding perfection. You are perfect spiritual idea held in the mind of God, but you got to know it. You cannot just keep looking at yourself from the genesis of something that happened in the past. You have to look at yourself as an eternal being. Now, this is my moment. Right now, I'm beginning again. This is my moment. You fall, you get back up. This is my moment. I'm beginning again. Now, you fall, you get back up. This is my moment. I'm beginning again. My life is eternal. My life is eternal. My life is eternal. I'm an eternal being. I'm an eternal being, untouched, untarnished by time. Now is the appointed time. Now. We are the sons and daughters of the Most High. Now, we may not yet appear what we will look like because of the constant unfolding of perfection, but it's now. And then with that seeming imperfection, because everything's working together for our good, you look back at some of the mistakes you thought you made, and you say, oh my God, I'm sure I'm glad I did that. You know, God, what I learned. Didn't have to. And then there's, finally, no problem in God. Only answers and solutions. You said it in your affirmations. All the answers and solutions are already within you. So I get to choose. Now just be aware when you start doing this, those mental habits are going to fight back. They become emotions. They start off as mental habits and conversations and opinions, and then they moved into the emotional realm. And they're going to fight you. They're going to fight you. It's called chemicalization. When that stuff starts to come up and you start to change, and not just let go because you say, I let go and let God today. No. They're going to try to hold on. So you got to get down. Win that argument on a daily basis. It's going to be a little tough because you're going to be talked about if you become happy most of the time. If you start to generate a lot of joy most of the time, peace most of the time, people are going to think you're a little strange. But you got a community that gives you an immunity. Where it's all right to be all right. It's all right to fall as long as you get back up. And you stand as a strong purity and all beauty. And then heal your whole ancestral line by you raising up and drawing all of it into a higher frequency because of your connection in that unified field of awareness. You just lift it up. God is not mocked. So we feel into that. Fly free today. Fly free today. Fly free today. Fly free. Free. Your mind and your assets will follow. All of the sacred qualities. Listen. I'm a little nutty, but I like it. Just feel into this right now. First of all, before you feel into it, put your hand over your heart and just say, I take a vow today. I release all vows previously taken that were of a mediocre nature. I release all vows of mediocrity, fear, doubt, and worry. I vow to stand in the field of excellence. I vow to stand in the field of abundance, prosperity, health, well-being, generosity, beauty, compassion, and pure love. I take this vow of my own accord. No coercion. I willingly move into the field of excellence. And that's the way it is. And so it is. Yes. Break all previous agreements with mediocrity, all previous agreements with lack, all previous agreements with limitation, all previous agreements with scarcity, all previous agreements with sickness. We vow to be a living instrument of the living God, alive, awake, and aware. Let's turn within for a moment. Let's seal this message and these vows with a prayer of thanksgiving, that we're grateful that we were here today. Thanksgiving that we're so grateful there's a place to come to where we can celebrate the divine unabashedly. So grateful for our own life. It has meaning to God. We have meaning to the presence. We don't have to create our uniqueness. It's already been given. We don't have to try to be unique. Water doesn't try to be wet. Fire doesn't try to be hot. That's its nature. You're already unique. So we stand in the power and the presence and the love of God with great gratitude for our life, and we begin to see life more clearly. The filters are dissolving based on our intentionality, our prayer, our meditation, our life visioning, our study, our fellowship, our sacred service. All of these go hand in hand for a great awakening. And with tremendous gratitude and thanksgiving and appreciation, the word is spoken from a sense of unity with oneness, unity with God, unity with life, unity with beauty, unity with joy, unity with power. I speak it for each of us that reflects and reveals the one power, the one presence, and the one life, that we may rise high today. We may fly free in the realm of abundance and joy and harmony and health. That every organ and action function in the body temple. We'll hear it. It hears our messages. The message today is, will you be whole? Yes. It heard the sacred yes, and the body temple is now coming into alignment with that yes. The emotional body is coming into an alignment with that yes. The mental body is coming into an alignment with that yes. It's called clarity, not confusion. Emotional body, purity. Physical body, health and wealth and well-being. All the body of our affairs are blessed with divine order. We accept this right now. Oh, come, Holy Spirit, into our life. We're available. We're available. We ask, and we shall receive. We ask for help where we need help. We ask for guidance where we need guidance. We ask for direction where we need direction. We ask, we receive, we circulate, we speak the word. Ah! It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. God's neighborhood is everywhere. It's all good. Oh, feel it. Just feel it with me now. Just feel it. We feel it. We just bring little sprinkles into the fold for a moment here because we're celebrating her life on Friday at 4 p.m. right here in the sanctuary, and she is embracing us all in her expanded state of consciousness. Maybe hanging out with Nirvana, maybe hanging out with Alice Beckwith, maybe Carl Anderson is singing. We give thanks.